Storm's over, thank God. Storm's over.
Hello my friends, welcome to another zombie preparedness. Today I'm going to talk to you about a little bit about cordage. Good friend of mine, at least I count him a good friend. I've only ever seen him on YouTube. Dave Wendell does some really fantastic stuff with cordage. And that's what I want to talk about today, is a particular plant for cordage. That would be the corn plant. Somewhere on Bushcraft on Fire's website, Dave has a display board that shows a few different kinds of cordage material. Amongst those is corn, and I haven't seen a video on his YouTube about corn, but that intrigued me because corn is very commonplace, easy to find. So what was it about the corn plant that made it a good cordage plant? So we're going to look at the corn plant today and see what we can do with cordage with using corn. So at first blush, I thought of the leaves when I was thinking about cordage material. Corn has these big wide leaves, and you can see veins and fibers in them. The problem is that these leaves really break up when you start to twist them. I tried hackling a little bit, and that leaves these fibers as just too fine and brittle. When I harvested this corn plant, it was late summer. Corn had already gone to starch. It was not too far from being harvested for grain. So perhaps the corn leaves would be better in summertime. I did take a leaf in midsummer when everything was green, and that did not twist very well. But getting these little fibers in here are very fine and very brittle. All that connective tissue in the leaf also lends itself to breaking these fibers up. So the leaf wasn't the main thing. The leaves are still really good. You can make a good bird's nest for a tinder bundle using the corn. This central vein or central stem in the corn plant, I still need to experiment with. Probably do some retting on that and maybe be able to get some of these fibers out. There's some nice fibers in here. They're very, very fine fibers. Again, so perhaps some retting is in store there. If you don't know, retting is when you take the plant and submerge it in water for a period of time. Usually that period of time is 7 to 14 days, and you're letting the bacteria rot the connective tissues. A good cordage plant, when you're retting, has a fiber that's resistant to the bacteria, and all you lose is the mucilage, the pith, and connective tissues. So what I discovered was that this internodal area has a lot of pith in it, but in that pith is some really good fibers for making cordage with. So we're going to change the camera angle here and cut open this internodal area. This is about on this corn plant, it's about 4.5 to 5 inches. This, depending on the hybrid, most corn these days is hybrid, and this particular plant is a hybrid. Depending on the subspecies of plant, that internodal area could be as much as 7 inches. So, but this one is about 4.5 to 5 inches, and that's fairly consistent, 4.5, 4.5 through the corn plant. As you get further up the corn plant, the fibers become fewer, so if you can catch them down at the bottom, that would be better. So the cordage that you're going to get from corn can be pretty nice. This is a piece that I've already started here. This is about 2 millimeters in thickness, and it's got some fairly good strength as it is. I estimate the strength on this is somewhere between 6 and 10 pounds. That's breaking strength. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some reverse twist and show you what that looks like. I'm not going to get into really great detail. Dave Wendell does a really good job of showing you how to do reverse twist in his videos. Dave Canterbury, he does some really good work with reverse twist also. So go ahead and go watch their videos. The links to their channels are down there on the right hand side of my channel, so go ahead and explore that and see how they show you how to do reverse twist. When you're watching me, I do my reverse twist a little bit differently than these guys. The result is exactly the same. I just kind of reverse directions a little bit. It works better for my hands. So when you're out there experimenting with cordage, experiment with your motions too. Everybody says with reverse twist that you twist away from you and pull away from you, and that can be a little bit confusing. I may indeed be doing exactly the same as them, but experiment a little bit, find out what's comfortable for you. The net result is what's called an S-ply, because the twists in the fibers form a kind of an S. When you ply this again with another piece of cord just like it, you'll get a Z twist, and that's again, it's based on the shape that the strands make as you're putting it together. So some reverse twist. Look at these nice fibers. These are pretty fine. I've got about 6 or 8 fibers in a strand. Where these fibers come from? Inside the corn stem, in this internodal area, you have all this pith. Now, when it's damp, these separate easier. You get some of the fibers are found on the stem itself, but they tend to be a little bit short sometimes, but you can see these kind of peel out nicely. Now those are about 2 inches. You can see these fibers just kind of separate out very nicely out of the pith. Just draw that fiber along the fingernail to remove some more pith, and look, that was 2 fibers. You can keep on doing that, and you're going to get several dozen of these fine fibers out of the pith. Like I said, dampened, this comes out easy. The fibers come out easier. This has been drying for several weeks while I got ready to do this video. So we're going to not fumble around with this so much. And I'm just going to get some fibers that I already separated out. You can see these are all nice fibers, 4.5, 5 inches. One internodal area I worked on was about 6 inches, so we you can get some pretty nice fibers to work with for making cordage. So at this point, I'm adding in. Go see the Daves and see how they show you how to get started with doing reverse twist. And what I like about these corn fibers is they twist so easily. They've got almost a sedge shape to them, and they twist very easily. Notice I'm only taking a few pinches as I'm adding in. And one would normally not want to do joins so closely together, but these fibers are relatively short for cordage use. I'm spinning in my fingers and twisting away from me. My finger comes down, hooks the next piece, the other strand, and pulls that up. Notice I'm keeping them at roughly a 90-degree angle. Different cordage materials will require different techniques. You're going to have to experiment some. I'm just grabbing up, I don't know, I'm not counting it. It's about 5 to 10, well, not 10, 5 to 8 fibers. Spin in my finger, pull that up and around. You can get good cordage with this angle being only about 45 degrees. So I like the separation I get with 90 degrees though, and that just kind of works. Find with a lot of bushcraft stuff that there isn't any particular right way to do things. What works, works. But it's a good idea to try to replicate what your mentors are showing you. And when I join, I try to do it when I've got the joint I'm stranding, the strand I'm joining is pointed away from me. Notice I'm not always very particular about how much of that pith I got off of the strands, off of the fibers. That pith is so soft that it doesn't break the fibers like the hard connective tissue in the leaves does. So this pile of fibers I got here is only from 2 internodal sections. It took maybe 20 minutes to separate out all these fibers. You can see in just a short amount of time that we've been shooting, I got about 6 inches, 5 inches of cord made. Sitting around the campfire, you can spend some worthy time making up cordage. And this is good enough as twine as it is. For construction, I would do another reverse twist. I was twisting in this direction. When I ply it again, I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to have both cords going the other way. If you don't do that, you'll just end up untwisting your wrap. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to build a little fire, and we're going to see the next step, and that's getting rid of all these fuzzy joins. Make it look like a decent cord. So what we're going to do is just pass the cord right through the flames just for moments, and that's going to burn off all those tags and leave us with some pretty nice cord. You don't need a whole lot of fire. You can do this with a big lighter, really. But there we go. There's some nice cord there. I'm going to bring this up slowly towards the camera so we can maybe get a better look at it. And there we go. Got some nice corn cord. So thanks for watching. Thanks for coming to Zombie Preparedness once again. Thanks for subscribing. Really like to see us get past that number 10 mark, so hit that subscribe button, hit some likes, send me some comments. I try to respond to comments quickly, so leave me some comments. Again, props to Dave Wendell and Dave Canterbury for their excellent efforts on YouTube to help folks learn about bushcraft. We'll see you in some upcoming videos here on Zombie Preparedness. Remember, folks, the knowledge you carry in your head, it weighs nothing and it takes up no room in your bag. We'll see you soon.
Storm's over.